and welcome to Wednesday. So this week we're going to be talking about all things paranormal, especially our experiences. My experience takes place in a place called Wilmington, North Carolina. We were staying in Ocean Isle for a week and we decided to drive up to Wilmington for a ghost tour. So we packed up the car and drove like 45 minutes to Wilmington. When we first got there, we had to go to a place called the Black Cat Shop to purchase our tickets, which I definitely recommend the Black Cat Shop. It's in Wilmington as well, like downtown. It is a beautiful store. I mean, it's full of like little trinkets and different types of like magical and like witchy stuff, and I love it so much, and I would do anything to like go back to the Black Cat Shop just because it was so like up my alley, I guess. I love everything like that. We're gonna begin talking about our first story of the night. So we talked about like 6 or 7 different ghost stories, but I picked my 3 favorites that I sort of had a connection to and like sort of had experiences at. The first story is about Gallus Meg. She was a 6 foot, 350 pound woman who like owned a tavern, but she didn't just own a tavern, she like ruled that tavern with an iron fist. And anytime that a guy was gonna start a fight or like touch one of her girls or like try to do something harmful to one of her girls, she would grab them by the throat, carry them outside of the tavern, and then continue to beat them nearly to death. And she didn't ever, I don't think, kill them, just like so close to death, because she wanted to make them suffer for what they did. She would then rip off the offender's ear with her teeth, carry the ear back into her tavern, and spit it into a jar full of other ears that have been like problematic in her tavern before. So eventually all of the pirates and sailors got tired of her iron rule over the tavern, and they decided to get a bunch of them together and then beat her to death. And that made me sad because, like, I don't know why, but I felt a connection to Gallus Meg. I felt like she was a very good woman. She just didn't like it when people were trying to cause trouble in her tavern. So, even though the tavern is gone, it is still said that today she will follow men who wander into the women's bathroom to keep the women in there safe, and even employees see her around, like, because there's still a restaurant where the tavern used to be. And I'm actually going to be inserting a picture somewhere, I don't know where yet, but I want you guys to look at the pole, like, in the picture, and then there's like a little blob next to the pole. I don't know if that's a face. You guys can sort of give me your judgment on it, because I honestly have no idea. It creeps me out so much, but I feel like I got a face in that picture. So, getting on to the second story, this one is about a dime ghost. So this story begins with a lady who lived with her husband who was a dentist, and he didn't have like a separate practice somewhere. He had his practice in their home. There was just like a separate entrance to it. So like I don't really know this whole story. I just know like that little bit of background information. So eventually they died off, and now her ghost is said to leave dimes all around the apartments because the mansion is now split up into 2 apartments, I believe it is. But everybody that has lived it there has been like just finding dimes everywhere. Our tour guide actually told us to keep our eyes peeled for dimes because the ghost has been said to put dimes in shoes and pockets, places that dimes usually aren't. And as we were walking away from the house, my aunt heard something hit the floor behind her, and she just stopped in her tracks and was like, she looked over to my mom and was like, "Amy, what was that?" And so they both turned around, they went and looked, and then lo and behold, there was a dime in the middle of the sidewalk that just fell out of nowhere. So I don't know if they were like just hearing stuff and there happened to be a dime there, because I was actually way up ahead, like with the tour guide lady. They were lagging behind a little bit, but my aunt found a dime, and I don't know why, that just kind of freaks me out a little bit. That's all I have to say for that story. So this last one is definitely the most terrifying to me because it's the one that I had the most experience at. So this house was built by a guy named Dr. William Price. It's called the Price Gauze House. This house was not just any house. It was a house that was built right on top of the gallows. And I'm sure all of you guys know what the gallows are. It's where they used to take you to like hang you for your crimes. And if nobody like had somebody to take their dead body, they would just bury the dudes that were hanged like right next to the gallows. So I'm pretty sure there's some bodies under that house. There has been multiple people staying in that house for like historical learning purposes, and every time that somebody tries to stay, they can't do it because doors open and close by themselves all the time. There's footsteps you can hear walking up and down the steps, and it's terrifying. You just get an eerie feeling from that place, like myself included. I don't know why. It's just, there just feels like there's so much dark energy there to me, and I'm gonna share some of my experiences from this place. So my cousin and I were standing right next to each other, and we were listening to the lady talk, and then we decided to look at the same window at the exact same time. But as we both looked into the window at the exact same time, somehow, I don't know why, our eyes were like just drawn to that window, but I saw a face move into the window and then back into like the side of the house. Like they peeped out the window like, oh hey guys, what you doing? You having a ghost tour out there? Let's have some fun together. So that terrified me so much because I looked over to my cousin and I was like, did you see that too? And she was like, Lizzie, stop it. Like, you're terrifying. Everybody was terrified, and only Elena and I were like the ones to see it. So it was terrifying to me. I don't know why. Well, I know why. I saw a flippin' face like move in and out of a window, and that's like my first hand. I saw it with my own eyes paranormal experience, because like things like that don't happen to me. I love the paranormal, but like nothing ever comes to me. Like after we went on that tour, my dad's phone wouldn't open its pictures until we got out of Wilmington. Like his phone just malfunctioned and wouldn't open the pictures until we left Wilmington. It was almost like something was like, you don't need to look at those. That's not important, or something like that. But that concludes my paranormal experiences. They terrify me. Let me know down below what you think of the pictures, if you think they're like actual like ghosts or anything like that, because I honestly have no idea. But I personally think they are. But leave me your like opinions down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit that subscribe button wherever it is. I don't even know. But it helps all of us out very much. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. I want to say that I love you all, and see you next time. Everybody, why are you guys being nuisances? Huh? My cats are being dicks. Pulling the tap. Stop moving my tripod, you little boy. God.